the Fearless Fans Podcast, your one-stop shop for everything Texas Tech related. Whether you're alumni, students, or just a fan of the school, we are proud to be on each week providing you the latest in Texas Tech University. And then some.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of Fearless Fans. This is one of your hosts, Keith Abbott. This episode is a follow-up of the first episode that we had, and we want to introduce one of our contests that we are carrying forward from our previous podcast called the Testosterzone Podcast. And that contest is called the Pick 5 Challenge. This was a big hit with a lot of our listeners who had really hoped that we would carry this forward into the new podcast. And we're glad to say we absolutely wanted to do so. We had so much fun with this and very excited about season 2. What you're about to listen to is a clip of the final episode, episode 70 of the Testosterzone Podcast, where Noel, Ryan, Steve, and I explain what the Pick 5 Challenge is, along with give our picks for the first games of the season and for the champion of the season. So we hope you enjoy this. Give it a listen.
The Pick 5 Challenge.
Yes, sir. So, Steve, why don't you talk us through about? So we've tweaked this Pick 5 a little bit this year.
Yeah.
Why don't you take us through this?
Yeah. So just to recap, just to stroke Ryan's ego one more time. He was last year's champ, 2018 Testosterzone Pick 5 Challenge champ. Won by one game over my dad. So just barely won it last year. He almost gave it away. But nice job, Ryan. Obviously,
Congratulations.
Pure luck, and no doubt. But we decided to do similar formats. So we'll still pick the weekly 5 games, but we're going to add one kicker in to start the season. We're going to ask every single player, every single participant to pick their pick for who's going to win the national championship this year. So they have to call it in week 1, and so if they call it week 1 and get it correct, then they will actually receive 10 points added to their year-to-date total for the Pick 5 Challenge.
Wow.
And so this national champ prediction, if they get it right, could easily determine who the winner is for this season. So Ryan, it's not just about picking 5 games every week. You got to.
I'm telling you, man, I like that kicker. Yeah. Kickers are good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I do have those first 5 teams for week 1 picked out whenever you're ready. But I do have
But we also have another incentive, don't we? The listening incentive.
Yes. Go ahead.
So did you come up with a point thing on this one?
I did not know.
Okay. So one of the things that we learned last year was that it got down to the wire where we were panicking and sending texts out to people who get to give us their Pick 5 Challenge. So we're also sweetening the pot. And we will tell you kind of what this point is as we decide it. But what we're going to be doing is we are not going to be starting to send out the picks via text or social media until Wednesday night. And that is going to give everybody from probably Monday to Wednesday afternoon a chance to listen to the episode and to give us their picks. And if you give us your picks while listening to the episode instead of us telling them to you, we're also going to give you a kicker bonus. So we really want to make sure that we're not frantically trying to text people at midnight to get them to respond. And so this is an extra incentive for you all to try to listen earlier in the week and give us your picks to get some extra points too.
For our baby's healthy start.
Sorry.
I felt like I'm like, does this mean that we're trying to nurse people along?
Ryan,
is that what
are
you're
you
going
watching Oat Brand commercials over there?
I'm frantically going through different websites here, getting my research together.
I like how you're researching 5 games. You have no idea what they are.
Right. I know, right?
I'm getting my references ready. Unfortunately, my autoplay is not turned off. Sorry.
If you think that'll help you out, then do what you need to do.
Do what you got to do. That's
I'm
right.
sure Keith and Noel have the ESPN predictor queued right now as we speak.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't even think I have it up, honestly. I've literally going blind into this with this one. This is going to be great. And as awesome as I did last year, this couldn't be any worse. So whatever.
Can't be any worse than it was last year.
Really, really can't.
So just to set the stage for this college football season, I do sort of want to highlight the AP Top 25. We'll sort of just highlight the top 10 teams, and this might be valuable to our listeners as they try to decide who the national champ will be this year. But number one ranked team for the season going into preseason going into this week one is Clemson. Number two is Alabama. Number three is Georgia. Number four is Oklahoma. Number five is Ohio State. Number six is LSU. Number seven is Michigan. Number eight is Florida. Number 9 is Notre Dame, and number 10 is Texas. So, so that we got two teams from the Big 12 in the top 10, which is disappointing to see the two teams it is. But
Color me surprised.
Anyway, so use that information there, back your head for possible national champ picks for this year.
And so, are we still doing it to where we have to pick different ones?
For cautiously pessimistic.
Yeah. Oh. So we're still doing that, right? So is our cautiously pessimistic team going to be the same as who we're going to choose to win it all anyway, or are those two different things?
No, two different things.
What you're saying is that you don't have confidence. Okay, that's cool.
Oh yeah, basically yes.
Me neither.
I mean, I am a continual jinx for any team that I root for, including Tech. So.
Right.
You should cheer
I hear you.
Yeah, cheer for Texas.
All right, we're ready for this. Let's do it.
So Noel, who is going to be your backup team? And we know you all love Texas Tech, but who's going to be your backup team this season?
So my backup team is not a customary team. The last few years I picked Alabama. And so this team is actually just a team that I wanted to learn more about because my daughter's interested in going to school there. She was recently accepted to go to school there. And so it's not sure if she's going to go there yet or not. But if she does, then I thought I would use this year to kind of learn more about them. And that's the Stephen F. Austin Lumberjacks.
Axum Jacks.
Axum Jacks. I'm going to be pulling for them, and I think they're in the Southland Conference, if I'm not mistaken. So they're terrible. I mean, not terrible, but they don't win as much as Alabama. Let's just put it that way.
So Noel's a good example of how their backup team is not necessarily going to be their national champ prediction team.
Fair enough.
Exactly. In comparison to Tech, I imagine that my backup team is going to be probably a lot worse. So
right.
It'll make Tech seem better.
Reverse psychology.
Anything can do that can help that. That's good. Yeah. Fair enough.
True.
Well played, Noel.
Okay.
Keith?
Well, okay. So like we said last year, I'm going to defer to last because I picked Clemson last year that won, and so I will be the last to pick because we also agreed that we wouldn't pick the same team from the year before, which hurts me because I really love Clemson. But that's okay. I will stick with what I said last year, so I will defer it to you guys.
Okay. I will pick my team, and it's not the obvious front runner. It's a team from a state that our podcast has gotten zero love from, and it's going to be LSU.
Goodness. Wow.
Really?
Look at that.
Yeah.
For the Natty, huh?
For backup team. And I haven't said who my Natty's going to be
team
yet. So slow your roll there, Keith. But
okay. All right.
Yeah, so that's my backup team. Ed Orgeron or whatever his name is. That dude just cracks me. I was like, listen to Boonhauer.
Oh, I know. He is good.
Yeah, he really is funny.
He's almost as entertaining as Leach.
Right. All right, fair enough.
Brian, do you have a backup team?
So this is not my 2019 national champion.
Right.
Mm-mm.
You know, consistently, I've just always had the heart for Washington State. You know, for the obvious reason of their coach, and you know, it's just hard to let it go. You know, seeing where they are and what that team has become since Leach has joined them, it's been fun to watch them.
Yeah, they are a blast, and Leach has been a blast to follow on Twitter lately. I don't know if you've been watching
Leach
him.
has not slowed down, and yeah, I did see that video. That was
the belly flop.
The belly flop heard around the world was pretty epic. Yeah.
He's still so odd and awkward. It's great though.
That's what makes it. That's what makes him, man. I tell you. Awesome.
All right, Keith, give it to us.
Okay, so I'm confused now. So I thought this is not our backup team that we're going to root for to win the national championship. Now we have two things, right?
Right.
Okay.
Golly,
Okay.
man, what,
So
a cup of
I'm
coffee over there or
exhausted.
something?
I definitely. So okay, so I'm gonna put down that the team that I kind of want to learn more about, not necessarily the one that's going to win the national championship, is Oregon.
Okay, nice.
So I like Pac-10 or Pac-12 schools for some reason. I did Washington a couple of years ago. This year I'm going to learn more about Oregon.
Nice.
So there you go.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, so I'd say
that'll be
we do
fun.
our national championship picks after we do the pick 5.
Deal.
Okay.
Deal.
All right, y'all ready to hear this?
Let's
All
hear it.
right, so
Yes.
And now the Pick 5 Challenge.
For a
Steve?
second there, I thought I opened up another web browser.
He's like frantically trying to turn his phone off.
Is that me again? All right, go ahead. Steve.
all right,
All right, let's hear 'em, let's hear 'em.
Fire away.
week 1, 5 games total. First 4 games are Division 1 games, and then we're going to pick 1 game from Division 2. So this
Okay.
became a fairly fun way for us to learn
Yes,
some
it
schools and sort of entertaining to us with some of the classic schools like Sac State and Ball State. So that never got old. And anyway,
Literally never gets old.
so the first game is a neutral site game. It's the Battle of the Carolinas, South Carolina versus North Carolina. So Ryan, as our returning champ, you get first honors.
He did that
Yep.
on purpose. That's
Yep.
great.
So who's your pick between these two teams, SC or NC?
So neutral site. Do you know what that neutral site is?
I believe it's Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. So not even the same state.
No,
Florida.
not at all.
Okay.
They're going out of state.
So I did not check the weather
that's
forecast. Do we
fantastic.
know if there's any hurricanes coming towards Florida this year yet?
I mean,
No, that's in Miami.
Who cares? I mean, just
He does. He's got this factor.
He's
thing.
delaying because he's searching the internet frantically right now.
we're on to you.
For any research.
If I hear more female moms nursing commercials, I know what you're giving it away. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got that queued up.
Do you?
So North Carolina versus South Carolina. I'm going to go with South Carolina on this one. They're a strong team. They've got a good history. They
Coach Holtz is a good coach.
They've had some changes here, but the neutral site, different state. I mean, it's going to be closer to South Carolina anyway. I don't know how well North Carolina travels, but it's going to be hot. It's going to be sticky.
What she said.
That's right. I think that's going to give more of an edge to South Carolina.
All right.
Fair enough.
And I realized I just made a mistake. I was actually in Charlotte. So all right, no,
Oh.
what's your pick?
Oh,
That changes everything.
Now I see how
Well,
this is
given
going to
that-
go.
Given that it's in Charlotte, I'm gonna go with
All
South
right.
Carolina.
Fair enough.
is Mac Brown coaching North
Mac
Carolina?
Brown is coaching in North Carolina.
Get out of town. Are you serious?
Yeah, I think so.
That's where he was before he came to Texas.
Yeah.
Wow, I should read the news more.
You know, knowing that, I'm going to pick South Carolina.
Okay.
No, I really like Mac Brown, but I just think South Carolina will win this
Yeah.
one. So
Yeah. If they were playing basketball, who would you pick, Keith?
oh, North Carolina,
for sure.
no doubt.
For sure.
What if they were playing outdoors in Jacksonville while it was raining?
I would still
basketball?
pick. Yeah. I mean, you figure South Carolina probably has a higher possibility of a hurricane to hit them, so they should be prepared.
Yeah,
I still
that's
pick
true.
South Carolina.
What if it were women's soccer?
Oh,
Ooh, North Carolina.
yeah, all the way. I don't know why.
Now, what if the basketball team for South Carolina is playing the basketball team of North Carolina?
Then I would still probably go with North Carolina. I don't know. I feel like there was a trick question in there.
In
I had
football.
Oh,
Oh, okay. That would be impressive to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you-
Yeah.
and if y'all care, I'm going to go with South Carolina as well.
Yes, Steve. Steve.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot
What's
about
your
you.
pick?
South
Steve.
Carolina.
South Carolina.
Okay.
So across the board.
Can't,
Okay.
can't root for Coach Butterteeth. So All right, so this next game is also a neutral site game. This is a game that's in Jacksonville, Ryan. I just verified that.
Are you sure this game's in Jacksonville, not the wherever this other one was?
Positive. So
Charlotte.
So this should be a fun game. It's Boise State versus Florida State. So Noel, we'll start with you.
No, they're not playing on the blue carpet.
Nope.
Right. They're playing Boise State versus Florida State.
That's right.
I'm gonna go with Florida State.
All right.
Just because.
Okay.
Sounds
Keith, who do you have?
I'm picking Boise State.
Boise State. Okay.
I don't think that Florida State's recovered yet.
Yeah. Ryan, what are your thoughts?
Florida State is a floundering dog, and even though they're in their state and they'll have plenty of support, Boise State's constantly got the chip on their shoulder. Boise State's going to take them.
Very smart. And I am
They don't
also
need a stinking blue carpet.
I am also Boise State.
I'm the only one. See, I'm the only one that's going to get this one right.
Yeah.
Well,
You
got, and if you've looked at ESPN, they got a 71% chance that Florida State's going to win.
Oh, really?
So,
That's never right, though. I mean,
no.
They're looking at their research from 1993.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. They're like, that Bobby Bowden's a really good coach.
I've got going to pull it out there. I'll tell you that, boy.
Yeah.
He's going to win the game. Boise State ain't got a chance.
No.
They might as well stay in Boise State, wherever the hell that is.
Yeah, enjoy the blue.
did Spike Dykes and Bowden ever face off in the game?
Yeah,
I
they
don't know,
played.
but
They
that-
played in the. No, they didn't.
Man, that would have been
a
a
good
media
one.
hit right there. Those two.
Yeah, it really would have. Really would have.
They would have played the game. They would have just stayed in the pre-conference there.
Exactly.
In the press
Probably if Tech and Florida State would have been playing during that era, the press conference would have been a better deal. So,
Yeah.
Kidding.
All right. So this third game is going to be played in Jerry World at AT&T Stadium in Dallas. So this is going to be
Okay.
Oregon. Keith, your
all right.
backup team versus Auburn.
Oh,
So this should be another good
gosh.
game here. So Keith, we'll start with you on this one. Who do you got?
You almost have to pick Oregon.
Holy cow. I feel like I need to. Like I feel like it's my duty to right now. I heard Auburn is starting a freshman quarterback. I'm going to go with Oregon.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to follow Keith on that. Go with Oregon as well. I think Auburn. Gus Malzahn sort of on the hot seat right now. So he had a national championship a few years back whenever Cam Newton was on the team. Has done basically nothing since then. So I'm gonna go ahead and do Oregon as well.
Nice.
Ryan, who do you have?
Pac-12. Man,
Versus the SEC.
This is a good one, Steve.
Yeah.
that is a good one. They're in different states. We're from opposite coast here.
That really
Yeah.
factors into your decision, doesn't it?
It only seems like Auburn really brings it when they're playing Alabama, and they still don't do that good. Yeah, I'm going to go with Oregon.
Okay. Excellent.
There you
Excellent.
go.
And all you have.
I'm going to go with Oregon too, just because I want them to win. I don't know if they're going to necessarily win, but I'm wanting them to win.
Yeah. It's for me to
Nice.
pick Oregon, even though I did, because last year's time we had Oregon on the slate. I never got that game right. So
Did you pick Oregon?
I did.
Then I want to go with Auburn, Steve.
You did. Yeah, I'd
Too
like
late.
to change
Too
mine.
late.
I forgot about that.
So
You guys make me nervous.
yeah, I don't blame you.
You should be very
All
worried.
right. So the fourth and last Division I game, and a reminder we do have a Division II game last here, is SMU at Arkansas State. So close your Google browsers now, guys.
Oh, my. Yeah. Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Where's it being played?
It is being played at Arkansas State.
At Arkansas State. What city is that?
I have no idea.
Arkansas.
Was Arkansas State in a city?
Tupelo, Arkansas. I don't know. Jonesboro, Arkansas.
Jonesboro. Yep.
Oh yeah, good old
State,
Jonesboro.
seating capacity is 30,382 seats. So that should factor in your decision making there.
Really?
So Ryan, you're up first on this one. Who do you got?
Wait a minute, this is the fourth game. Who hasn't gone first yet?
Oh, that was me. Okay.
That's not important.
Yeah. All right, I'll go first here.
The organizer hadn't gone first.
I know nothing about either teams. The only thing I know is that Chris Beard used to coach at Arkansas State, and that has nothing to do with football. That's basketball. And I've been to SMU before, so I'm gonna pick SMU just because I've been there. All right, that made no sense at all, but works for me.
There you go.
Yeah.
All
right, Ryan.
To me.
Who do you got?
I'm going to go with SMU. They seem to do good with their off-season recruiting. They typically like to go for the athletes that have either failed elsewhere or have gotten in trouble elsewhere, but have really performed well. And they've been able to put together some pretty scrappy teams.
I think they did make a bowl game last season. So
you said SMU, Ryan?
SMU.
All right, Noah, who do you got?
All right, Steve, you picked who?
SMU.
And then Ryan, you picked SMU. I'm going to go with Arkansas State. Those guys are good. Really good. All the sisters of the brothers that are going to be playing are going to be up in the stands cheering them on. And
right.
Seems legit.
I just got
great analysis there, Noel. I mean, Vegas is stealing your research now as we speak.
Right
yeah. All right, Keith, who do you have in this game?
Good night. Well, SMU last season played better teams. They played Tulsa. They beat Houston, and Arkansas State played teams like University of Louisiana Monroe, Texas State. Lost to Nevada in overtime. I'm thinking. I think I'm going to go with SMU. I think they have a stronger. I don't know, just a stronger strength of schedule that maybe from last year can help them with some confidence if they're returners. So.
They're Methodist.
Yeah, that too. And they have a pony.
Because of the pony. All right, there we go.
Did you know that airlines are now allowing miniature ponies as comfort animals on airplanes?
Yes.
Okay. So go SMU. Okay.
Wow.
Anyway.
Impressive.
I don't know where that came through, but whatever.
All right. So the last game is a Division II game. This game's going to be a barn burner and a game that should probably be attended by dozens and dozens of Division II college football fans. So this game is a Texas battle.
Oh.
It is Prairie View A&M versus Texas Southern.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
So Keith, because we'll be giving you a chance to research on ESPN, you go first.
I think I'm going to go with. I think I'm going to go with. I think I'm going to go with a Prairie View.
Okay.
Prairie View A&M.
Prairie View, just throwing it out there. Nice. All right. Noel, who do you have?
Well, Prairie View is not too far from where I live.
Yeah.
And I actually know somebody that went to Prairie View. And she liked the school. She didn't say anything about the football team, but I bet she liked it. And so I think they got a chance against Texas Southern. They just don't have much going for them. So I'm going to go with Prairie View.
Okay.
Good job.
I mean, I think we all know anybody going to this game is going there for halftime because it will be a good halftime show.
That's for sure.
Oh, you know it, man. Battle of the bands.
All right. So just to mix it up, I'm going to pick Texas Southern just because, hey, why not?
There you go.
All right, Ryan.
Yeah.
Last year's champ, you get the final honors.
I was about to say, forget about the football game. I want to see this halftime show.
Yeah,
no
absolutely.
Kidding.
Yeah, if you've never seen either one of these bands in person,
it's a treat.
It really is something to see. I had the chance to see Texas Southern when I was in high school, and we were actually in a parade, and they were the band behind us, and we got to see them getting ready, and it was the coolest thing to watch them get ready.
I bet.
I mean, it wasn't just a parade to them; it was life at that point to them. It's like nothing else mattered except getting the best performance out of that parade.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was played at the BBVA Compass Stadium, which is actually the soccer stadium that the Houston Dynamos play in.
Yep, it's right down by the Minute Maid Park in Houston.
Okay. So kind of a neutral site. Prairie View coming out of Northwest Houston there, but Texas Southern there, middle of Houston. Yeah, I'm going to go with Prairie View on this one.
Okay. Awesome.
Strong pick.
Awesome.
It is.
Texas.
So just not looking at history, but since we've all decided, last year Prairie View beat Texas Southern 60-14.
Yeah.
Oh.
I clicked on that
Yes.
after my pick. So paybacks. Come on.
I did too.
Paybacks, Texas Southern. Let's get them.
That's right. It is time. Revenge.
You can't root for a team that's A&M in their title. I mean,
It's hard to
Whoa,
swallow.
whoa. You said pick, not
Yeah.
root.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Okay. let's make
Okay.
it true.
I know. But
Okay.
still. All right. So that's only half of the chore we have to do today. So obviously we need to pick our national champions for 2019 football season. So Ryan, as the returning champion, you get the first honors to pick who you predict to be this year's national champion.
You are really buttering me up for something that I'm not sure I'm prepared for. This whole last year's champion thing. I don't know if you're thinking I'm going to flounder or.
There's so much pressure when you become the champ, man.
It is.
I don't feel any pressure at all. I just feel like
You
okay,
should.
Lonely at the
important.
top.
talking to me like this.
There's only one champ, and that's you, champ.
There's only
Man.
one champ.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with a low-hanging fruit, and I'm going to go with Clemson for the repeat.
All right.
Crisp pick. Very crisp pick.
Very crisp.
You guys have been waiting all day to say that. I know it.
Teed
Hey,
up.
man, we're 34 minutes into this thing. That's the
Yeah.
first crisp.
I feel
pick.
at peace with that.
I do too. Here.
That's hilarious.
All
All
right.
right, Noel, who's your pick?
I'm gonna go with Clemson.
Clemson as well. Wow.
I just think they've got everything coming back to them. They're ready. They're hungry. I don't think they can be stopped.
Okay.
And they're not in the SEC, which is they're going to beat each other out.
That's true.
You know,
That's true. That's good.
or the Big 12. You know, not that has anything to do with anything, but they're gonna. I think they got a chance.
So I'm going to have confidence in my backup team, and I'm going to pick LSU to win it all this year. I'm high on LSU for some reason.
Wow,
Man.
That's solid.
dang.
That is a solid.
Solid. Tell you what, they can come out of
Yeah,
nowhere.
they could.
Right down now.
All right, Keith, who do you got?
I'm torn between my team from last year, or it just seems like every year
Two lovers.
it's like chess, right? Between Saban, you know what I'm talking about, and Sweeney, because it's like last year, Sweeney was like getting Trevor Lawrence, trying to figure out what they could do. I mean, I almost wonder if Saban now is going to counter move with something crazy to pull this out. But I think I'm still going to go with Clemson, just for the simple fact that, like you say, SEC is a brutal thing to get through. And Clemson's still pretty stacked in every area. So I don't think I'm going to go too far from where I was before. So Clemson for me.
All righty. Wow, I'm the outlier there.
Yeah, you are.
Jump on the back.
I like it.
bandwagon,
I
guys.
like it.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, that's week 1 of the Pick 5 Challenge. So we definitely, once again, reaching out to all of our listeners. We want as many of you to play as possible. We had a great group last year, and so we hope to have everybody back at least, and add many more to it. So stay tuned and get your picks in as soon as possible. Thanks, everybody.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it. Speaking of numbers and math, did you hear about the mathematician who was afraid of negative numbers?
No.
He'd stop at nothing to avoid them.
Hey, did y'all hear the guy who invented throat lozenges die last week?
That's terrible.
Appropriately, that there was no coffin at the funeral.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's a good one.
Yeah.
You guys are killing me.
Noel, which ace are you pulling out today?
So, a pun walks into a bar. 10 people die on the spot. Pun in, 10 dead.
Oh my gosh.
That's my kind of joke right there.
Send me those links.
Right.
Oh man, that is so bad. That is so bad.
Brian?
Oh my gosh. Well, guys, unfortunately, it's been a hard day at work, so I really didn't have the chance to look ahead and try to come up with a dad joke or anything. But I can only share a story that I had with a patient of mine today. It was, like I said, it was a tough day. So after examining this patient and his symptoms, and I just had to come clean with the patient and said, okay, do you want the good news or the bad news first? The patient says, just give me the good news. And I said, well, the good news is they're going to name a disease after you.
Stupid. Nice.
What do you call two female lovers spying on the government?
Gee, I don't know.
Lesbianage.
All right. Here's one more. What kind of dog doesn't bark?
I don't know.
What kind of dog doesn't bark?
It's a hush puppy.
Oh my God.
Jeez. Why did I not see that?
That was bad.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, do you guys know how The Rock pees?
No.
He Dwayne's as Johnson.
Oh my gosh. Hey, and congratulations for getting married this weekend too, bud. So yeah. Oh, that's funny. Oh my gosh. Wow, that's awesome.
Dwayne's.
I almost blacked out. I laughed so hard just then.
That was a good one.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
There was a research article released about the English language that explained that the word icy is actually the easiest word in the English language. I didn't read the whole article, but after thinking about it for a while, I see why.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, nice job. Nice job. Send them home laughing.
That's right. Very nicely done.
So, as we, wrap up this episode, just give everybody a heads up. This is actually the last episode that Noel will be with us, and we'll miss a guy. We're all great friends, and sometimes life takes you in different directions, and you have to sort of reprioritize things. So, Noel needs to take care of his business, and so we're going to do our last show today for the Testosterzone. So, we're going to rebrand. I'll let Keith talk about that a little bit more if he wants to. Yeah. But, Noel, this has been a blast, and be more than happy to have you back. We know we will.
Yeah.
So have some fun, and it's been a blast.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you so much. Yeah, we decided that this would be the best way. That Testosterzone was an image of three of us, and we wanted to leave it at that. And so we are rebranding. We're going to just kind of focus on opening it up. We also know that there have been challenges for just three of us to try to take over, to be able to meet week after week after week. All of us have challenges. And so we're going to rebrand a little bit. We're going to have, some more hosts on that are going to be available. Ryan is one that's visiting with us and on carrying things forward. But we've had such a blast with the podcast. We want to continue to do things, but we want to leave the Testosterzone with the three blue men. And so we are leaving the Testosterzone with Noel, Keith, and Steve at episode 70. And then we will introduce some new things to come. The good stuff is staying. The Pick 5 still staying. The dad jokes are still staying. Hope to have awesome guests on still. But, we're going to leave it as it is and just thank you, Noel, for being part of this journey with us, bro. And like I said, this is just a hey, we'll see you in a little bit, but not a goodbye by any means. So we get it, totally understand how life goes, and we're proud of you for your business. We've talked about Steve's business. Yours is doing great. Obviously, we've already talked about kids and that you got to spend every special moment you have with them to totally get it. And go get them, buddy. And we'll talk whenever you can come on. We're excited.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Now go Dwayne or Johnson. I'm literally not going to stop telling that joke. That's classic.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Send us home laughing, Noel.
That's right. That's right.
He always wins the joke contest.
That's for sure.
That's good stuff.
So there you have it. I hope you really enjoyed our introduction to the Pick 5 Challenge. Again, this is a game that is absolutely free to play, and the more the merrier. So please join us. Tell your friends to join us. There is a prize for at least the winner, if not the top couple of winners at the end of the season. And we really are having a great time putting this together for you. So lots more to come. We're really excited about the future of Fearless Fans, the podcast. Thanks again for listening, and we look forward to talking with you again soon. Thank you for listening to the Fearless Fans podcast about everything Texas Tech related, and then some. All of our episodes are written and produced by Steve McKelkey, Keith Abbott, Ryan Butler, Steve Garcia, and John Thomas, unless otherwise noted. Don't forget also to follow us on our social media pages on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
The opinions expressed on this podcast are solely the opinions of its show host and intended only for the purposes of this podcast.